Hello and welcome to our demo of Talk to the Manager surveys. With our surveys, all you have to do is come up with a unique keyword and your Talk to the Manager number and present those to customers. And when customers text the keyword to the number, it will start the survey. I'll show you how this works. So from within Talk to the Manager, click on the Manage tab and then the Surveys tab. We have a few options here. I'll start on the left first. Manage surveys is where we are right now. We don't have any surveys yet. We can add a survey. The permissions link is where you will set your preference as to who can create surveys. By default, all account admins can create surveys. You can grant this option to location admins. You can also give it to specific people. And it will show a list of all the people on the account. There's only one person on the account right now, and that's me. Now I'll go to Survey Limits and Usage. We haven't created any surveys or run any surveys yet, but what this shows is how many credits we have available. Since I'm on a plan that offers 1,000 credits per month, I can see that I haven't used any credits yet, and that I have a limit here and 1,000 available. If you have multiple locations, you can share your credits between those locations. By default, it's just per location, which means if one location runs a bunch of surveys and runs out of credits, they can't run any more surveys. And other locations that don't do as many surveys might have some credits left over at the end of the month. By combining them with this little checkbox, you can share the survey credits between all of your locations so they can share the same pool. So how many credits do you need? Well, this little calculator will come in handy. Let's say you do 2 surveys a month and you want 30 participants in each survey. How many participants you get will depend on how much you promote the number with the keyword and get people to take your survey. And then how many questions are in each survey. So let's say you have one survey with 3 questions, another survey with 7 questions. Let's just average it out to 5. If you calculate that, it comes out to 780 credits in a month. What is a credit? Well, a credit is 1 for each text coming in and out of the Talk to the Manager system that will handle your survey. And that's why this calculator comes in handy. Okay, let's go back to Manage Surveys and let's make a survey. So I'll click one here. The name of this survey is Welcome. The name of the survey is not viewable by customers. Now the keyword is the real thing. This is what the customer will see, and this is what they'll text to your number to start the survey. So for this, I'm going to use the keyword lunchtime. I only have one location to participate, the World Buffet. If I had multiple locations, they would be listed here. Who can edit this survey? So as the creator of the survey, I can always edit it. But just like on the other option as to who can create surveys, these are the same options, but for who can edit this survey. And then at the bottom also, who can view results of the survey. So let's add some questions. We have 5 different kinds of questions. We have essay, which is open-ended questions, multiple choice, a number range, let's say 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. And that's good for rating systems, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your service today? And then there are yes/no questions and true/false questions. Let's create one of each. So for this first one, I'll do a true or false question. So I just write true or false, World Buffet is an affordable lunch option, and then choose the true or false answer type. Okay, let's add another question. And we'll make this one multiple choice. Which of these did you drink with your buffet? Choose one. So I'll go multiple choice. And I'll start adding in answers. Let's do water, wine. Let's add another one. Beer, tea, coffee, soda, and nothing. Okay, let's add another question. In this one, we will do a yes/no. Would you recommend us to a friend? Okay, let's add and move on. And question 4, we'll do an essay question. What areas would you like to see improved? Okay, let's add and go to the final question. This one will be in the range. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being best, how would you rate your experience? So number range. And then this is where we tell the system the range. So between 1 and 10. You can also do 0 if you have a rate. If you want to do a rating of, like, let's say between 0 and 5, that works too. Okay, I'm done with questions. So now this is the final step. So I can enable it right now if I'd like. Let's do that. So enabling the survey will allow customers to start the survey by texting the keyword lunchtime to a participating location's number. And when to end the survey. The survey never ends or ends at midnight on a certain date. Let's say it ends when 15 people have completed the survey. Now, how many questions do we want to send to the survey customers? By default, you just send all the questions to the customer one after the other. But you can also say, well, I don't want to send all the questions, I just want to send a sample of the questions. So let's say I want to send, instead of all 5 questions, let's just send 3. And then it would just pick randomly 3 different questions to send to that customer. But I'm going to go back to send all the questions in this survey. And then at the end, a thank you message. In this one, the default, thank you for taking the survey. Your feedback is very helpful. Let's say it's very helpful in improving World Buffet. Now, if you're doing a survey where you want to reward a customer with something, you can always put a coupon code or a specific call to action in this thank you message. You could request in your thank you message that they email a specific email address or visit a specific web page, and then that way you would know that they had seen and taken your survey and gotten to the end. Okay, survey's ready to go. So there's a few statuses right here. We can see the name of the survey, the keyword, that it's enabled, so it's ready to go. Status is complete. Complete means that it has at least 1 question, so it's a bona fide, ready-to-go survey. And when I created it, and there's nothing yet for results because no one's taken it yet. So let's take the survey. I'm going to jump over here to a customer phone. I already have the Talk to the Manager number plugged in. So all right, so as you can see, it says, thank you. You will receive 5 questions. You can reply with quit at any time to end the survey. True or false, World Buffet is an affordable lunch option. Reply with a number, 1 or 2. Let's say 1. Which of these did you drink with your buffet? I didn't know we could order wine or beer, so I just had water. Would you recommend us to a friend? Yes, it was a great place. What areas would you like to see improved? The roast beef was cold. I'd like to see a drink menu at the table. And here's that final question. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rate your experience? Well, it wasn't super great because I didn't know I could order anything to drink. No one came by to take a drink order. So I'm going to say 8. Now, if I was to put in something like 0 or 25, something that was out of bounds, the system would come back and say, please reply with a number between 1 and 10. So there's some error checking in place. Thank you for taking the survey. Your feedback is very helpful to improving World Buffet. So there's the thank you message, and the survey is complete. Let's go look at some results. So if I refresh this page, I'll see, oh, there's a little pie over here in the corner, which means there's some results. And then also, because there are results, the surveys tab shows up at the very top next to my reports and messages. So I can click here or click the tab. Let's click the tab. All right, so the survey results. This is just a very brief summary of the survey results because I want to click in to see the real stuff. So what this is just a list of where all of the surveys that I have created and run would be listed. But since I have only one, it just shows this. But I can see here, just from looking at it, that it was started once, it was completed once, and it was completed 100% of the time. The average time to complete it was 1 minute 55 seconds. It's because I'm pretty fast. It had 5 questions, 100% were answered, and then the last survey response. And then also a link to download the responses from the survey. So let's click in. Okay. So I can see some of the same information here, how many times it was completed, how long it took, and the percent of questions that were answered. There's some basic information, some completion statistics, and then question statistics. Hi folks, let me break into the demo for just a moment. We've added some new functionality that isn't represented in the demo, so I just want to show you that real quick. Before we just had the combined results down here. Now we have combined and individual. So if you click individual, you'll be able to see individual customer responses. This demo is going to show combined, and then we'll show you the individual tab in just a moment. So back to the show. And then down here, a really nice view of the results. So here's this little button on the right is for exporting all of the replies from customers. So you can, if you need to run this through some kind of business intelligence system or some kind of other reporting system, you can definitely do that. So here's a breakdown of just this one response, basically. So here is the question in the first column, the type of question, and then the results. This is 100% on the true side. This is 100% on the water. You can click to export these as PNG, PNG, JPEG, PDF, SVG, or just print it. And for each question, it has the percent that question was answered. And all of these, that's going to be 100%. And then also you have the average time to answer. So this one took 22 seconds on average, 14 seconds on average, 8 seconds, etc. So now we get down to this essay question where I had to actually type something in. So to view that, we click this, and it shows the responses with the most recent on top. So here's what I said about the roast beef. And then at the very bottom is that final question with the number range. As you can see, I responded with an 8, so it kind of falls in here on the chart. And then you can also export this if you like. So that's results. Now what I'm going to do is switch over to the same account, but with a number of survey responses in place, so you can see what that's going to look like. Welcome back. As you can see, I've got some results loaded in here. 5 surveys were completed. Average time to complete 2 minutes 34 seconds. 96% of the questions were answered. As you can see, 83% of the survey was completed. It was started 6 times. It was canceled once, which means that they sent the word quit to exit the survey. And it was completed 5 times. We have 5 questions in the survey. 27 questions were asked. 26 were answered. We can see the results. For the first question, we're at 50-50. 100% of the time it was answered. Average 21 seconds to respond. For what drink people are having, it looks like it's pretty even all the way around, except nobody had nothing and no one had coffee. So that was answered 83% of the time. Took an average of 24 seconds. The would you recommend this to a friend? It looks like 1 out of 5 said no. And areas of improvement, let's click that. So some good feedback there, some things to take into account. And finally, on the scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your experience? We had 1 down in the 3, a 7, an 8, and a couple of 9s. Hi everyone. Now that I'm back again, I wanted to show you the individual tab that we added to this page that wasn't reflected in this demo. So I'll scroll down here. You'll see the combined tab, which we've covered. And now let's click individual. And if I scroll down, you'll be able to see all of the responses from individual customers. So who responded with which answers. These are sorted by default by the asked column. So that's the time when the question was asked. And then also here's a column where when the question was answered. This information is also in the export that you can download as a CSV. So since this is sorted by the time it was asked, the most recent responses are going to be on top. And then you can click to sort this in the opposite direction if you want the older responses to be on top. But as I scroll down, you'll see we've got the location that the customer texted to in order to take part in the survey. So if you have multiple locations, you'll see different names here. Customer number. So this is the number that we provide to identify the customer since we don't expose their phone number. You can still reply to this customer and maybe ask them about one of their responses on the survey. And to do that, all you have to do is click the customer number and you'll get a nice little response box. So all you have to do is say, I have a question about your response to our survey. And then you can, type in whatever it was that you wanted to ask them about and then hit send. And then we send that back to the customer as a text message. So this is built on our Talk to the Manager anonymous feedback service. So you can have this anonymous conversation with a customer and they won't be able to see your phone number and you won't be able to see theirs. That way their feedback is still anonymous in a way, but you can have a conversation. This is something you won't really see in other survey software. So let's jump back to our results here. So this customer number is going to be different based on the location. So the customer number is a combination of a location and a customer together. So customer number 2 at World Buffet probably be a different customer if they took the survey at a different location. It's not really something you need to worry about if you have one location, but if you have multiple locations, just know that customer number 2 at one location isn't necessarily customer number 2 at another location. But you can always click on these to be able to respond to the correct person. But we have here listed all the questions that were asked, the question type, the answer that the customer gave, and if it was an essay answer, you'll be able to see that here. So it's all pretty much laid out. All of these columns are sortable, and like I said before, you can export all of these responses in a CSV and put those into your business intelligence system. Okay, let's get back to the end of the demo. Thanks a lot. So I hope you've enjoyed this demo of our surveys. Surveys are very easy to set up. It's very easy to see the results of the surveys. And it's a nice way to get that feedback from your customers in a structured way that helps you make business decisions. Thank you very much for watching the demo. A video of this demo will be available on the website. We also have other demo videos available on the site. One is for our main core service called Talk to the Manager, which is an anonymous feedback service which allows you to get anonymous comments from customers by text message and the ability to respond in real time and make sure customers are happy. We also have a demo video of our basic performance reporting and also a demo video of our advanced performance analytics and reports. So please check those out. Thank you very much for your time. Have a great day.